to our channel. It somehow has actually been 2 weeks since I filmed my last pregnancy update, and I decided that I was going to do these every 2-ish weeks. So I'm actually 12 weeks and 1 day today. So I'm going to talk about 10 to 12 weeks and kind of my experience with it, how I've been feeling, what kind of symptoms I've been having, and then I also have some fun ultrasound pictures to show you guys, and I'm going to talk about our NT scan that we had on Monday, so 2 days ago. So the last time that I updated you guys, I told you that I was starting to feel better. I was still having a few sick days, but nothing like I had for those few weeks that were just so bad. And actually things have gotten even better since my last update. I rarely have nauseous days, and if I do, it's like 1 day out of a week, which is fine. I had like a week that went by with nothing. I just was not feeling sick at all. And then I had a really nauseous day, and I told Derek, I was like, I forgot how bad this is. Like, you just forget how miserable you are when you're sick. And so thank goodness things have only gotten better, and I am so grateful for that. I was really starting to wonder how I was going to manage being so sick all the time. So I had some friends who told me that their sickness lasted forever, and so I'm grateful that that does not seem to be the case with me. Things have only gotten better. I do seem to have more energy. For the first few weeks, I was definitely trying to take a nap every single day when Ellie napped. Now it's like maybe once or twice a week, and I don't have to. I mean, I still feel very tired during the day, but I think the nausea was really wearing on me a lot too, and it was like all that I could do to just try to stay alive, honestly, at that point. There were days when I would cry a lot. Like, it was really bad. It was not like a normal moderate level of nausea. Like, it was just all day, every day for weeks on end, and I just didn't know how I was going to survive it. I lost another 2 pounds when I went to my doctor's appointment, so I've lost 5 pounds total since the beginning of this pregnancy, which no one's really concerned about. I am not a skinny person, and so it's not like losing 5 pounds is a huge deal. In all honesty, it's perfectly fine. They only want me to gain 15 pounds for my pregnancy, so the fact that I've almost made it through the entire first trimester and I've not gained anything, I'm really pleased with that. They told me that I must be eating really well, but that is not the truth. Being so sick all the time, I literally, if something does not sound bad, then I eat it. At this point, nothing really sounds good most of the time, so I think that helps me with my eating, just as far as like I'm not snacking or eating any extra meals or anything, because I'm literally just eating when I have to because my body needs fuel. So I think that has helped more than anything. We've also been walking a lot. We averaged like 2 to 3 miles for the past 2 weeks each day, just going to the parks or going and walking around the outlet or the mall or whatever it is. So I'm sure that has helped some as well. So I'm really pleased with that. I am sure that the weight is going to start coming on at some point, maybe, you know, closer towards the end of my pregnancy. And so I am pleased that so far things have been good. Everything else has been fine. All of my blood work, all of my ultrasounds have been fine. So we opted to do the NT scan, which is the nuchal translucency scan. I'm probably saying the first word wrong. I don't know. The NT scan. They do it, I believe, between 12 and 14 weeks, 11 and 13, something like that. And it essentially is where they measure the fluid on the back of the baby's neck. And then there is like a range that is normal, and then they also draw labs, and based off of, you do an ultrasound at 12 weeks and then an ultrasound again at 16 weeks, and then like 2 weeks after your 16-week ultrasound and blood work, then you get your results, which it's not a definitive thing. It is like a ratio where it's like 1 in 400,000 or 1 in 2 or like whatever your ratio is. But then again, even if it was, you know, a really low ratio, it still doesn't mean anything really. It just means that you have a higher chance of your baby having a birth defect. is how my doctor explained it. So I think if it were to come back high, then they offer a couple of other different testing that is more invasive, and then those tests can tell you for sure, you know, if there is an issue. I don't think we would do anything beyond the NT scan. We would just say, you know, going forward, we know, you know, that we need to keep an eye out for things or whatever. It was never an issue of like, let's do the NT scan so that we can decide if we're going to keep this pregnancy or not. Like there's not anything that could convince us to do that. It was more of like, hey, let's have a heads up in case we do need to prepare for something. All of those results so far have come back perfect. The scan was perfect. The baby was doing a headstand for the first, I don't know, 10 minutes of the scan. The ultrasound tech was not pleased. Derek and I were giggling because it was just funny to like watch a baby that somehow is growing inside of me doing a headstand. And at one point I just made a comment to the ultrasound tech of like, this baby shouldn't even be here. So the fact that you're frustrated because it's doing a headstand in my stomach is like, it's kind of funny because like, honestly, this baby is such a miracle. We never thought we would be here. So let's all just take a deep breath. So she actually made me go out into the waiting room and walk for like 15 minutes and like bounce around and try to get the baby to change positions. Before she sent me out there, she had me like lay on my left side for a little while. She had me get up and walk around the ultrasound room and like jiggle my belly and just trying to like get the baby to do something other than doing a headstand. So eventually, finally, she was able to get the pictures that she needed. But in the meantime, it was so much fun just to sit and watch the baby waving and kicking its legs and, you know, doing headstands and flopping around and flipping. And it was a really, really cool experience. All of our other ultrasounds have been relatively short. And so to get to have 20 minutes of an ultrasound to just watch the baby was a really, really cool thing. So I would do it again just to be able to watch the baby for that amount of time. But I am pleased. I am relieved that everything seems to check out okay so far. So obviously I will update you guys again at 16 weeks and then at 18 when we actually get the results. So yeah, other than that, I have some pictures that I was going to show you. There we go. So this is a little baby. I had this picture or this ultrasound done at 11 weeks and 6 days. Baby was actually measuring 12 weeks and 2 days, which it had, when I had my first ultrasound, it was measuring 2 days behind my due date. And then for the last like 2 or 3 ultrasounds, it's been measuring right on my due date. And then with this one, it was measuring 2 days ahead. So I thought that was kind of funny. But I know that it, you know, obviously changes and goes with each, you know, day and week or whatever. Other than that, I was able to use my heartbeat Doppler. I was able to find the heartbeat at 10 weeks and 5 days. Now, since I was able to find it and I, you know where the heartbeat is now, well, I did know. We'll get into that in a minute. I think I probably could have found it a few days before that, but I was not looking deep enough. And you really, with this thing, you have to be willing to press down pretty hard. Now I am a little over 12 weeks and it has, yesterday I could not find the heartbeat at all. The day before that, I found it for like 2 or 3 seconds. Today, again, I found it, but it's like, everything is moving up. And so instead, like say this is my pubic bone, I had to like angle down underneath, like really deep in order to find it. And now it's like, with my pubic bone here, it's like kind of straight down, but angled I don't know. And the baby is moving so much, it's really hard to find the heartbeat. And so I just listen for, I don't know, 2 seconds. If I hear the heartbeat, I turn it off and I'm done. I don't sit around and listen to it all day long or anything. My doctor said it was perfectly safe for me to use it. She said just use it sparingly, and then obviously not to freak out if you can't find it. Like I said yesterday, I could not find the heartbeat, but it's just things are moving and shifting and changing so much in there that it's just, the baby's not in the same place every single day. So that will continue to happen as I you know, continue to progress through this pregnancy. Other than that, I'm trying to think anything else. I have been having headaches, heartburn, and back pain for the past 2 or 3 days. So that seems to be kind of my new list of symptoms, and kind of getting rid of the nausea, which I will gratefully take any day. But other than that, I'm feeling relatively good. My skin has started to dry out a little bit, especially around my chin, but it could also be with the season changing. I don't know if it has any, you know, if it has to do with the pregnancy or not. Sleeping is very uncomfortable for me right now, which is frustrating because I know I'm only going to get a lot bigger. And so when I'm frustrated at night and I can't get comfortable, I have a little bit of a panic thinking, oh my gosh, it's just gonna get worse from here. I can kind of sleep on my right side and it doesn't hurt. If I sleep on my left side, it hurts a lot, which the baby does seem to be on my left side more. So I don't know if it's like the weight of everything pushing on top of my uterus or something, but I do find myself waking up on my back constantly, which I don't like, because you're not supposed to sleep on your back. I don't think it matters so much right now, but the closer you get to 20 weeks, they say really not to sleep on your back. So my question for you guys is, I've put off buying a pregnancy pillow. Number one, because I just didn't know if I really needed it. And number two, I was worried that it was gonna take up too much room in the bed. So if you have a pregnancy pillow, did it help you not sleep on your back? I've never been a back sleeper, so I know it's surely because it's the most comfortable place for me to sleep right now. But I'm 100% willing to try it if it will keep me from waking up on my back. I never fall asleep on my back, and anytime I wake up on my back, obviously I switch positions, but I just don't even realize that I'm asleep. So I was hoping maybe a pregnancy pillow would at least keep me angled somewhat so that I'm not just laying straight on your back. I believe it's something about it, I don't know, the weight of the baby can push on something and it can actually like cause harm to the baby. I don't know. I have not looked into it a ton. I just know that that is a thing. So pregnancy pillows helped you with that. Let me know if you have any recommendations for smaller pregnancy pillows that helped with that and not necessarily like the big gigantic ones. I'd be grateful for that. Derek and I are also going to be doing a Q&A next week. So if you guys have any questions for us, leave those down in the comments below on this video or on our Instagram post. I'll make a post in the next few days asking for questions as well. It can be questions about pregnancy, finding out we are pregnant, what we hope for the future, questions about Ellie. Just let us know what you guys want to know and we will sit down and film a Q&A. But other than that, I think that's about it. I am starting to notice a change in my stomach area. I still just look like I've just gained weight, which thankfully I know is not the case. I know that it is things moving around and changing for the baby, but to other people I just look like I just gained weight. So we'll see how my body and bump starts changing over the next few weeks, and maybe I will start doing bump updates as far as that and bump shots, but for now we're just going to leave it. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video and that you guys are having a good day, and we will see you next week. Bye.